Greetings and salutations, folks. My name is Nick, and welcome back to Beacon Pines, where, looking at it, it seems that a lot is going on. It seems like it might be a bit much for a kid to deal with, and that, I think, is probably one of the big successes of this narrative. Kind of like, what was the movie called? Attack the Block? Where, there's an emphasis on the power level versus the age of the people that they're dealing with. These are kids. They can only do so much, and the thing that they're involved in is way beyond their skill level. How we're going to stop it, I do not know. But we've got, if you don't remember the character names, do I remember the character names? Luca on the left, that's the main character. Beck is the new kid on the block. And who is your best friend? Is Roxo his sister? I think Roxo is his sister. I don't remember his name right now, but I do remember I gave him a deeper voice. Luca, a higher voice. Beck is kind of somewhere in the middle. So, pretty sweet security, right? It was imaginative, I'll give you that. Luca, are we sure we can trust the new recruit? I'll vouch for her. Thanks, I guess. Okay, Luca, you promised to fill me in about the Valentine warehouse.
Luca sucked in a long breath.
So like I said, there was someone else there. What were they doing? I don't know, but the place was lit up and active. Maybe they were squatters? I don't think so. It seemed more organized. When the man pulled me in, I saw some sort of equipment running. A man pulled you in? Yeah, but I got away. You keep saying there was a man. They were wearing a mask, right? Yeah. Then it could have been a woman. How did you get away? It could have been a grandma, but I don't know. Again, I don't think, your grandma was seen wearing a very similar hazmat suit. Would she have would that have led to a bad ending if she pulled you in? How did you get away? I grabbed a rock or something and broke their mask. They let go and I ran. Dang. That's intense. No wonder you freaked out when you saw your grandma. Yeah, that's the other part. On our way here, Beck and I saw Eris Valentine meeting with Gran, wearing the same sort of hazmat suit.
Let out a low whistle.
Rolo. Roxo is his sister. Rolo is his name. And they weren't there for idle chit-chat. It was a proper clandestine meetup. So let me get this straight. There's an operation in full swing at the Valentine warehouse. You were almost abducted by a strange man or woman in a protective suit. And then you saw your Gran in the same suit talking to Eris Valentine. Pretty much. I'm beginning to think this town is kinda awesome.
Rollo and Luca shot back a look.
No offense. And so we can logically conclude aliens or alien zombies have infiltrated the town. And their leader is your Gran, and she tried to murder you. I'm pretty sure there was a few leaps of logic in there. First of all, for the last time, there are no aliens. Second, it couldn't have been my Gran at the warehouse. I broke that person's mask to get away. The mask Gran was wearing wasn't damaged. But she's definitely hiding something. Maybe. Your Gran is weird, but she might be the most boring person in the universe. All she does is sit around all day making jam. What could she possibly have to hide? I don't know. We haven't talked much since she moved in. Moved in? Your Gran isn't from here? No, she came a few months back to take care of me after his mom went missing. Did you know your Gran before? Not really, no. It'd been years since I'd seen her. Luca, don't take this the wrong way, but are we sure your Gran is down the up and up?
Luca gazed out the window.
I'm just saying. It sounds like strange stuff has been happening since she showed up. We could say the same thing about your family, but you're right. Luca, your Gran is hiding something. And Pa always says, folks only bury stuff worth digging up. That's not a bad saying. We need to investigate your house. If my Gran really is hiding something, don't you think I would have noticed by now? She's hiding it in his parents' room. That's kind of the whole point of hiding. I guess you're right. Gran's been leaving the house for hours at a time this week. I'll call you two tomorrow when the coast is clear, and we can start getting to the bottom of this. I'm always game for a good snoop. You can count me in.
Chapter 6. Secret Lair.
Ooh.
Summer forged ahead, but the nights only seemed to grow colder. Luca walked home slowly under the pale starlight, cautious to avoid any more surprises lurking in the shadows. Reaching home, he slipped quietly into bed, half dreading what they might discover the next day.
What time is it? Yes, I'll be there. I just have to inspect all the directions, make sure. Rollo, what on earth is that? Huh? That ridiculous thing on your head. Oh, this? It helps me think. You're gonna need a lot more of those. Joke all you want. We'll see who's laughing when I crack this case wide open. The coast is clear? Yep, whatever she's been up to this week, it's been keeping her busy most of the day. Very well. The game is afoot.
Luca and Beck rolled their eyes as Rollo strutted across the room.
Nice. If I were Gran, where would I hide my deepest, darkest secrets? Perhaps where you might least expect it.
Rollo flung open the cabinet with confidence.
Aha!
Coughed as a veil of dust hit his face.
I think it's safe to assume anything that dusty isn't what we're looking for. Or maybe that's what she wants you to think. She's just been applying layers of dust on her secrets to make it seem old. Then again, any good detective knows not to trust their first hunch. First hunches are for suckers. What line is that from? There's a Simpsons line that goes, something is for suckers. I'm gonna have to get back to you on that. I don't remember. Eureka! She's lit a fire in order to burn the evidence. She keeps that fire going every day, Rollo. Drat, it may already be too late. Just think of the mounds of documents lost to ash. Okay. I'm gonna stop you right there. Can we just think for a moment? Luca, is there anywhere Gran doesn't want you to go? Yeah. The closet upstairs. So maybe it stands to reason that we should check there first. No dice, it's locked. That I remember from The Simpsons. Hey Ma, how's about some cookies? No dice. This ain't over. Bonus points if you remember the reference. Well. Look who stands to reason now. And I have no idea where the key is. If it really is important, then she probably keeps it with her. Anywhere else? She has her berry bushes. Who has ever thought, I'm going to take this important thing and huck it in a bush? True. Anything else? Maybe something out of the ordinary? Again, his parents' room. Well, she's always worried I'll break her fancy dishware in the kitchen. But it doesn't matter anyway, I can't reach the latch.
A look of realization crept onto Luca's face. All three kids snapped to glance at each other, then sprinted in turn toward the kitchen.
Is the key in the drawer? All right, Rolo. This is your time to shine. Ah, yes. You've called upon my expert detective skills. And now I shall proceed with...
Before he could finish, Luca scrambled up Rolo's back.
Hey, this isn't my idea of detective work. Every squad needs a good lockpick, and every good lockpick needs a sturdy head to sit on. This is beneath my standing. Stop complaining and hold still. Got it.
The three crowded around the hutch to peer in. With the glass doors opened, a perfect porcelain display gleamed in front of them. Their eyes searched for anything amiss, but the only distinct feature was its impeccability.
Well, that was anticlimactic. Yeah, I don't really know what we were expecting. Like, oh hey, let me just yank this on this random teacup and...
Pulled on one of the teacups. It slanted forward with a hollow click. The entire hutch began to rustle and slide under its own power.
Seems like your Gran has been doing some remodeling. Dude, only two types of people have secret lairs. Evil masterminds and superheroes. So which one do you think she is? We're about to find out. Interestingly, at this point, like, the game is just playing itself. It doesn't need me to move my characters about. And I feel like this could be my main issue with the game, is like the gimmick of finding these charm words and creating alternate timelines is interesting. But I don't know if there are enough timelines to really mess around. Like, and enough words. Like, if you had lots and lots of words and lots of timelines, and that would give you more room for experimentation. But this game doesn't really have, or at least it doesn't seem to have that many timelines, and doesn't seem to have that many word choices that affect timelines, which I admit is a lot of work. The idea of creating a nonlinear narrative by itself is already complicated. And then creating one that's interactive, one that leads to like various pathways that are all just as interesting as each other would be a lot. But without really taking advantage of numerous pathways, ultimately all you're getting really is a visual novel with very limited choice. The story is interesting, the characters are interesting, but I don't really think the gameplay has really shown off what it could be doing. Okay, so more of an unhinged conspiracist vibe. Oh, wow. Yeah, this cannot be good. We need to look around before jumping to conclusions. What do we have here? Barrels marked caution explosive. And jam jars. That's enough jam to feed the whole town. What kind of incendiary jam is your Gran making? She wouldn't have had me walk around town delivering bombs, right? Only one way to find out.
Polo casually spun open a lid and dipped his finger in the jam. He
Huckleberries.
smacked his lips.
A hint of brown sugar. And ink? What?
Rollo plunged his hand in the jar, fishing out a soggy slip of paper.
Aha!
Rollo offered the slimy note to Luca and licked his fingers clean.
Also, I'm really impressed that he can detect the taste of the ink within the jam. It's addressed to Mrs. Fratelli. A Gran Jam Graham? It says, last night I used the disguise Eris provided to scout the location. The timing window should be possible. Operation Sparkplug is a go. Oh man, are they doing a heist? Whatever it is, it can't be good. I wonder if they're blowing up the facility. So more a bombshell than a bomb, am I right? You're new here, so I'll let it slide. But I'm the bad joke guy around here. Delicious flat soda.
Luca jostled each cabinet drawer in turn. Only one was unlocked. He fingered through the filing cabinet, pausing at a bulging folder labeled Walter. For a long moment, he just stared at it.
Is Walter his dad's name? What do you got there? It's my dad. Looks like some of his old medical files. Your dad was a doctor?
Luca nodded and caressed the label with his thumb.
Well, are you gonna read it? Here, let me help.
Rollo swiped the folder from the drawer and began leafing through the pages. He whistled to himself, barely looking at the text.
How about you actually read some of it? One sec. Dense documents such as this are a lot like a cheeseburger. It's best to skip straight to the middle. That's where all the meaty bits live. Wow, I had no idea we were in the presence of the preeminent scholar in dense documents and cheeseburgers. By all means, proceed.
He stopped at a page and mimed, holding up a monocle.
Here we are. Follow-up examination of Terrence Wilby. Patient shows further signs of paleness and malaise. Body temperature continues to drop. He now describes soreness of muscles and joints. This is similar to symptoms exhibited by Mrs. Wilby just a few days past. Still waiting on lab results from Joseph.
Rollo looked up with heightened surprise.
See? Creepy. Yeah, that's was kind of disturbing. Who's Joseph? That's Mr. Nuncreed's name. Wait,
Rollo's finger traced across the page.
there's more scribbled in the margins. Could it be contagious? Mr. Wilby claims the tap water at his home has been contaminated. Perhaps environmental? Lab results only raise more questions. It's like he came back to the report later and made those notes. So it might be related to something else.
Rollo scanned through several more pages.
Here, the writing looks shaky. I just couldn't help her. This disease, or whatever it is, progresses so fast. And with his wife passing, Terrence's condition follows close behind. Exacerbated by the loss. Enough is enough. I need to take matters into my own hands.
Luca, staring blankly at the cabinet this whole time, spoke softly.
What does it say next?
Rollo rustled the folder, trying to loose more pages.
That's where it ends. What? There has to be more.
Luca frantically shoved the remaining cabinet folders, trying to find another labeled Walter.
Luca, I think that's the only one. It's alphabetical, see? What did he mean enough is enough? How did he take matters into his own hands? This is bullshit.
Luca slammed the drawer shut.
This is bullshit. Bullshit.
A spider web of string connected photos of people from the town, interspersed with hastily scrawled notes.
Well, she sure has kept herself busy. Ah, is your Gran a serial killer? 'Cause I'm starting to get a vibe. Don't be ridiculous. Sure, she's tracking the movements of everyone in town, out of the kindness of her heart. She puts symbols by some of them. Yeah, Mr. Nuncreed has a check mark. The clipboards are all inside a big circle. My mobs are both on here. Both with question marks. Gus Valentine has a question mark. Harris has a question mark that's been crossed out. Mr. Carey has a bullseye. The killer has chosen her next victim. We don't know what any of this means. I'm pretty sure she knows that Mr. Nuncreed is working for the bad guys. She's not sure that Gus Valentine is working for the bad guys. She thought she wasn't sure about Eris Valentine, but then decided she doesn't work for the bad guys, and she definitely knows William Kerr is the opponent. Whatever it means, it's probably not good.
They crowded around a worn-down old map of Beacon Pines.
Cool, this looks like a treasure map. Not every old map is a treasure map, Rollo. Yeah, but every treasure map is an old map. Can't fault that logic. Look, there's even a pathway drawn on it. It starts at the entrance to town. And if we follow it,
Rollo carefully traced the path with his finger.
it leads right to
He jabbed down at the end point.
Town Square? That's the fountain in the middle of town. What a weird place to hide treasure. Rollo, that doesn't look like treasure to me. The end of the path on the map has the same symbol as those explosives over here. So it's not hiding treasure. A real bummer. Rollo, what's the thing you've been excited about for the past month? The festival. Oh. Did you just say gulp? This feels like a gulp kind of situation. Everyone will be gathered near the center of town. She's gonna blow up the festival. Not if we stop her. Oh wait, that was Beck. What was that?
Luca looked up from the map.
What was that? No, I heard it too. That was the front door. Which means someone just shut the door. Which means someone's upstairs. Shh, quiet. Hit the lights.
Beck flicked off the light, and they became statues in the dark. Overhead, creaking floorboards bent under slow, deliberate steps.
I mean, won't the cupboards still be like slid out of place?
The kids looked up, the tilt of their necks following each footfall. Then suddenly, it stopped. Without realizing, they'd been holding their breath. All three exhaled shakily and glanced at each other. A muffled male voice broke the silence.
Oh, I think that's, hello?
A final few footsteps reached the entrance above them, and a voice now echoed down the stairs.
Anyone down there?
The three kids shuffled to the corners without a peep. As he began to descend the stairs, the man's voice punctuated every new step. Thump,
Yoo-hoo!
thump,
I'm not here to hurt anyone.
thump.
I'm just here to help. Just...
At the bottom step, the man paused, squinting to search the room for signs of life.
Huh. Guess it's nothing.
Rollo shifted suddenly. Luca gave him an intense, chastising look and whispered through clenched teeth.
Rollo, don't.
It was too late. Rollo was already inching toward the stairway. He screeched as he charged toward the shadowy figure.
Flaming chicken coop!
With all his weight, Rollo tackled the man to the ground.
Rollo? Mysterious creepy man? Anyone there?
From the dark corner, they saw something move.
Well, I don't know if I had it in me, but there was only one way to find out. Holy crap, Rollo, that was awesome. Wait, did you just kill that person?
Luca scrambled to the hunched figure on the ground. Pressing his fingers to the man's neck, he sighed with relief.
You sure clobbered him good, Rollo. He's knocked out cold.
As Beck flicked back on the light, Luca and Rollo both gasped in stereo.
Mr. Tolliver.
Chapter 7. The Interrogation of Hiram Tolliver.
Oh.
Still unconscious, Mr. Tolliver slumped heavily in a shoddy old chair. His hands were bound with rope, his feet tied with some loose string.
Yeah, that definitely sounds like it'll keep him.
The kids huddled in a circle, discussing their plan. One thing was certain, they couldn't just let Mr. Tolliver go. They needed to know what he was doing in Luca's house. After some deliberation, it was decided.
Oh, here we go. They would run the classic good cop, chill cop interrogation. I only have one choice.
They'd run the classic good cop, chill cop interrogation.
Wait a second. So one cop is going to be nice and polite, and then the other cop is going to be like, hey, maybe you should tell us what we want to know. I'll handle this, just gotta play it cool.
Luca walked calmly to the light switch, flicking it off and on a few times. Mr. Tolliver shook his head, gathering his wits.
Golly, I sure got my bell rung.
He looked over to find Luca, who returned a calming grin.
Sorry, Mr. Tolliver. This was all a big mistake. Luca, what's going on here? Why do you have me strapped down? No one's fault, really. Rollo just got a little startled. Rollo's here?
Rollo and Beck emerged from hiding to give a timid wave.
Well, all right. Mistakes happen. You kids gave old Hiram a good old scare. Let's just get me out of these ropes and call it even.
Luca glanced over to Rollo and Beck, who replied with skeptical looks.
Mr. Tolliver, why are you in my Gran's basement? I'm here to help, of course. Help with what? What's my Gran up to? If you'll just cut me loose, I can show you. How do I know you can trust you?
Mr. Tolliver exhaled with disappointment.
Luca, have I ever done wrong by you? No? And since your Gran moved to town, haven't I been nothing but welcoming? Yeah. So why would I turn my back on your family now? It's just, all this stuff seems pretty weird. A board with names of people from town? An archive of my dad's old disturbing patient
Luca
notes?
gestured to the corner.
Barrels of explosives? I can explain everything. You just need to untie me. You kids deserve an explanation.
Luca looked again to Rollo and Beck. This time they shrugged. Luca began to slowly loosen the bindings. Mr. Tolliver gently rubbed his wrists.
That's a good lad. This'll all make sense in time. Immediately runs away.
He edged imperceptibly toward the stairs as he spoke.
You see, this town has secrets, Luca. A very dark past indeed.
Before the kids had even noticed his movement, Mr. Tolliver was at the light switch.
A past that must be brought to...
He punctuated his final words by flicking the switch and rushing up the stairs.
Light. Son of a...
Beck darted to the wall and turned back on the lights. It was too late. Rollo confirmed what they all heard.
He just locked us down here.
Mr. Tolliver's muffled voice came from behind the door.
I wasn't lying, you know? This is for your own good. You kids just keep tight down there, and let the adults handle this.
They looked bewildered at each other.
Play it cool, huh? Not now, Beck.
They heard the staccato thump of quick steps exiting the house. The kids looked down in resignation. This isn't how it goes in Hank Atomic. For some reason, they'd always assumed it was up to them to save their town. Luca opened his mouth, hoping to conjure some magical words to make this right. Only a hollow croak escaped. The end. Well, we certainly aren't going to find a grand resolution to our tale locked in a basement.
Nope.
Back to the drawing board.
Alright, so what path haven't we done? We haven't done Rumble. Alright, let's get ready to rumble. I'll stop.
Luca began to respond, but the sky answered for him as the clouds above began to rumble with ominous thunder.
And yeah, this game requires you to go through a lot of bad endings in order to unlock the pathway to take you to the good ending. There's a linear path with false outcomes. You sure we can make it home before the storm kicks off?
Luca surveyed the roiling clouds.
I'd say the odds are good. Maybe you should stay here and I'll just make a break for it.
At that moment, the heavens opened up, unleashing torrential rain.
Care to recalculate those odds? Hurry inside, you two, before you catch cold. Luca, Nellie will keep trying to reach your Gran on the phone. In the meantime, you two hold tight. Sorry, not much to do up here. Most of my stuff is still in boxes. Mind if I poke around? Be my guest. I am your guest. I'm a guest in your home right now.
Luca squinted into the eye hole of the microscope.
This looks wild. What is it? It's dust. Oh, it's gum. Gum?
Luca adjusted the slide with his fingers to get a better look.
I'm tracking the structural integrity of gum with increased amounts of chewing. Chewed that one for 47 days. Oh my gosh. That is... I guess if you wash off the gum before you chew it again, but then you're also adding the flaw of repeated washing.
Luca wiped his hand off on his sweater and gave a nervous laugh.
It's weird, I know.
Beck looked down, timidly tapping the ladder with her feet.
You think it's weird, don't you? A little. But weird can be cool. It can be. I don't think it's necessarily cool in that case, but it can be. Oh, wow. Rollo and I have a radio just like this at the treehouse. Probably not exactly like this one. My mom and I tore the whole thing down to the bolts. Fitted it with some state-of-the-art vacuum tubes. She seems pretty awesome. She gets carried away sometimes. I think she feels guilty for working too much, so when she does have time for me, she showers me with high-tech overcompensation.
Luca flicked at one of the toggles.
I bet you can get all sorts of stations on this. Not out here in the boonies. You wouldn't believe the stuff I could pick up back in the city. But around here, it's all farm reports and static. Ah, shucks.
Luca bent down to examine the bouquet of wilting flowers. Judging by the odor, they were well past their prime.
Pungent. Can I be a pungent cop? Good cop, pungent cop?
He opened the attached card.
Happy trails from Coach Walker and all the Fairview Condors. Boy, you weren't kidding about poking around, huh? Oh, sorry, was this from your old school? The most recent one, yeah. Some schools gave me going away cards, some did flowers. When they're really trying to feel good about themselves, they do both. So you've moved a lot. Yeah, that's the thing about having a brilliant parent. There's always a better job somewhere else. These flowers would last longer if you put them in some water. That's the sort of thing I would do if I cared. Well, you cared enough to keep them is all. Luca, can I ask you something? Of course. That is a nice leap. Dang, that hurt? I'll be honest. That hurt more than I expected. Well, at least you looked cool doing it.
Beck took a moment to watch the rivulets of water running down the window.
Ooh, rivulets. Fancy. Do you ever feel alone? Like, even when people are around? Yes. Yes. All the time. Well, Rolo can be pretty absent-minded sometimes. I'm serious. Does it ever feel like your family doesn't care what you want? It didn't used to feel that way. I know Gran loves me, but sometimes when she looks at me, it's like she's looking at a problem.
Luca took a deep breath, exhaling slowly.
I know the feeling. How do you deal with that? I guess I haven't yet. But one thing my dad told me when I was little, don't hold a grudge, especially against yourself. If you try to hold it all in, you're gonna pop. So then what do you do when you don't know what to do? Dad never got to that part. Well, if you don't know what to do, there's either solve the problem, but you cannot, if you worry about a problem you cannot solve, you're doing all that worrying for nothing. It'll just add stress. Sometimes I figure it out on my own, though. You gotta do something, anything. Here. What are you doing? I don't know, something. We're gonna register our complaints with the storm. Listen here, you miserable universe. Stop jerking me around. I just want things to go back to the way they were. Everyone's tells me it's gonna be alright, that things are gonna change.
Let out a feral scream that echoed into the night.
Every time something changes, everything gets worse. Screw this town. Whoa. Let me try. Moving sucks. I hate it. I hate that I hate it. Why can't I just deal with it and be happy for my mom? Why can't we just stay somewhere? Brah!
Her voice dropped to a trembling whisper.
I just want to be a normal kid.
Beck brushed off her shirt and straightened up.
There. Wow, I actually feel a little better.
As abruptly as it began, the storm abated.
Thanks, I needed that. Me too. I should head out before the rain starts up again. Sure, I'll walk you out. So actually, this means we would have missed Gran's clandestine meeting. See you and Rollo at the festival? Sounds good. Luca, don't let the universe jerk you around.
Luca a light thump on the arm before heading in. Chapter 5. Friendly Feud. The air was heavy with the hard rain's residue, the smell of wet things. Despite his dreary surroundings, Luca felt at peace. He'd never shared those details about his dad with anyone, not even Rollo. But it's not like this changed anything. Rollo was still his best friend. Adding Beck to the group would help balance things out. Everything's better in threes.
Yes, of course. It's never gone wrong.
This is what Luca told himself as he headed to the treehouse.
Oh, there's the investigative reporter. Hi, Dawn. Tracking it down a new lead? You bet. I heard a juicy new rumor. Turns out when Sharper Valentine died, he left behind a peculiar last will and testament. Peculiar how? He didn't just give his kids an inheritance, there were conditions. Like what? The document stipulated that Harris had to take on a child as her ward. A kid our age who just showed up to town one night with a lawyer. Solomon? Bingo! So Eris was forced to take care of him? Yep, or she would have lost everything. Why would Sharper care so much about some random kid? Rumor has it old Sharper sowed some wild oats. That explains the way Eris treats him. Poor Solomon. How did you find all this out? A good reporter never reveals her source, Luca.
After the foul harvest destroyed their wealth and reputation, the Valentines shuttered off their estate from the rest of town. The Valentine mansion loomed over every other building in town, both figuratively and literally.
Glowing mushrooms are just glowing. We don't need to worry about them. And then there's Nuncreed's drugstore, the telephone booth to hell. The library is closed. She's still reading the book in the town square. Is this the same book? He met his old friend's eyes, and was greeted with nothing but ice-cold anger. Heavens! This is no time for fractured friendships. Excuse me, what are you doing? Just locking up for the night, sir. Oh, wonderful. I can only assume this means all festival preparations have been completed ahead of schedule. Not exactly, sir. The storm set us back a bit, and it's getting late, so we all decided to... Are you all decided? Yes, sir. I was unaware that your job involved deciding things. We are all here at Perennial Harvest because we believe in creating a better future, yes? Yes, sir, very much, sir. Do you want to be the one to tell this town that we failed them? No? That we gave up because there was a little rainstorm and we all got sleepy? Of course not, sir. Good, then it's decided. Yes, sir, we'll work till the task is done. See that you do. Our harvest awaits. What are they harvesting? Are they harvesting people? I find their harvest to be quite suspicious. Rollo, are you still up there? I'm sorry, Rollo isn't accepting visitors at the moment. Come back never.
Luca had only ever heard him speak in this stiff yet gentle tone a few times, and it always meant one thing.
You're upset. Oh, what makes you say that? Because maybe my best friend abandoned me for no reason? I didn't abandon you. I'm just a little late.
Rollo scoffed.
The rain held me up. Liar. You weren't even home. What? The storm got bad and I got worried, so I went looking for you. Imagine my surprise when I made it to your house. And you weren't there. I hadn't made it back yet. I'm not a fool, Luca. It doesn't take all day to deliver some jam. No, that storm rolled in out of nowhere, and I got stuck after dinner at Beck's. How?
Luca stumbled on his words, knowing he'd said too much.
Beck? Dinner? What the heck is a Beck? She's a new kid in town. She's actually kinda cool. You'd like her. She needed help convincing her parents that she'd made new friends. New friends? I spent all day waiting for you, and you were off making new friends? It's not like that, Rollo. You know, while I was waiting, I made some upgrades to mission control. It was going to be a surprise, but you took so long the storm knocked it all down. Just like you knocked down our friendship. What does that even mean?
Luca became instinctively angry in response. Both boys were now shouting across the distance.
It means you're a bad friend. You don't care about me. Of course I care, you ass. I knew you'd get in trouble waiting so late for you. But I kept my word, 'cause that's what friends do. Oh wow, what a noble sacrifice you made. Easy for you to say. Your Gran doesn't even care. You can stay out as long as you want, and you won't even get in trouble. Seriously? You're acting like I chose this? If that's what you think, then maybe you're the bad friend.
Rollo's tone changed to a calm, yet more intense anger.
Also, apparently the book the lady in the town square is reading is directly what's happening in the story itself. Maybe Pa's right. Storms bring more than water. This one brought out the real Luca. What does that even mean? Storms bring more than water. Stop quoting your Pa's nonsense like it means anything. Yeah, well, at least my Pa's still around.
The words hung in the cold night air.
Okay, Rollo, you went too far.
Rollo's stomach dropped, knowing he'd crossed a line. But it was too late.
Luca, Good night, Rollo. Dang it. Well, we caught up. So how long does this branch of the storyline continue before it ends?
Luca dug through his old stuff, not even sure what he was looking for.
Yeah, your soccer ball. Rollo, what a jerk. Call me a bad friend. Oh, I'm Rollo. Look at me and my amazing family. Can I go to sleep now? I guess I'm just never supposed to make new friends. Good cop, weeping cop. That's an interesting strategy. Luca?
Gran cooed gently from the hallway.
You slept through breakfast. Luca, are you all right? I'm fine. I just don't feel like getting up today. I just don't feel like getting up yet. Okay, I'll leave this oatmeal by the door. I've got to run out and take care of some things. Okay. I'll be back later to check in. Sure.
Luca just wanted to be alone. He waited to hear the sound of the front door closing.
I bet Rollo's still gonna go to the festival. He's gonna be miserable. Alright, I think I'm gonna stop here for the night. I'm guessing this is going to lead up to what actually happens at the festival and what Gran is planning. And also probably why it goes wrong. In the meantime, though, got any suggestions for someone to play next? Leave them down in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe and have yourselves a good night.